I have clicked the record button.
Thank you, Sean. Hello, everyone. It's June 3rd. Here we are again at the weekly CHAOSS community call. Great to see you here. Thanks for showing up. As you know, this is part of the CHAOSS Code of Conduct, so keep that in mind. And of course, you do not have to turn your cameras on. We don't really care here at all. We just want you to enjoy yourself, have a good time. So yeah, let's get to it. First thing on our agenda is I just want to let people know that we have mostly released the schedule for CHAOSS Con. There's a few holes. I think we're just waiting on some final details on a few of these, but here it is. Exciting. Yay. So if you were on the fence, then maybe this will push you over to the dark side to join us at CHAOSS Con. We would love to have you. And I will post this on socials today as well, because I have not done that yet.
And where it says talk to be confirmed, I have the speakers confirmed. I'm waiting for the new titles and then I'll update the agenda.
Perfect. Anybody have questions on this? Comments? Actually, Georg, I'll wait till you put that in before I push the schedule. Do you think? Because that's like, or what do you think?
Start pushing it. It's less than 3 weeks.
Okay.
Or it's 3 weeks, and I may still be a week before I have all the details.
Got you. Okay. Excellent. Also, CHAOSScon committee, I did not leave any space or wasn't planning to meet today, but if we need to, we can. So just give a shout at the end if we do. We have a new practitioner guide. Sorry, wait, I should go back. Anybody have any other questions on the schedule before I move on? Don't want to rush things prematurely. Okie dokie. Now we have a new practitioner guide. Yes, hooray. This is an awesome one. Big shout out to Peculiar for doing a lot of the work here. And of course, to Dawn as well. And everyone else who worked on this, but I think those two were the ones that mostly brought this in for a landing. So yes, good job.
Peculiar mostly.
Excellent work. Is she here today? Let me look. Oh, I don't see her. Okay. Well, we will sing her praises in her absence. This is, not something that's easy to write about. So good for her for taking this on and making this happen.
And this one was particularly difficult because it's really hard to measure something like diversity so that you can improve it and measure it in a way that's ethical and you're not going to create problems for people. And it was a tricky one to write. It was there was a lot of nuance and a lot of difficulty in getting this right. So I think Peculiar did a great job on it.
Excellent. Me too. I thought this was well done. And it comes with lots of references and resources, which I think is always important when talking about diversity, equity, inclusion in particular. I feel like there's a tendency to dismiss some of the, the facts sometimes. So I love that these references and studies back up what we're saying. So just throwing that out there. Excellent. Anyone have questions on this? Oh, I actually have a question. I think on the others, Dawn, you had done videos for the educational stuff. Are you all planning to do a video for this?
Yeah, I think so. So I think Peculiar will probably do this one, and then I'll do the video for the sunsetting guide. I actually I have it on my to-do list. I just haven't worked my way to it yet.
Okay, I actually forgot about that. That was a step, so it just came to my mind. This, in case you missed it last week, this is the other one that we just recently released as well. So another helpful guide for our community. Hooray. And Dawn, if people would like to help write these or suggest their own, where could they do that?
Yes, you can go to the Data Science Working Group repository and click on New Issue, and there's a template for practitioner guides. And one of the options in the template is, I would like a guide on this subject, but I don't want to write it myself. So you can even propose guides without giving yourself more work if there's a guide that you would like to see someone else write. Or you can, of course, say, hey, I'm proposing this guide and I would like to write it, and I'll help you do that.
Excellent. So there's some that are in the works if you want to join the team or write, get it started. And then, as you said, there's a place to suggest one if people would like to. So excellent. This is a very involved template. I did not know you could do a drop down in an issue template. Where have I been?
Oh, yeah. The only way to do that is if you make the template a YAML file. So you have to write the whole thing in YAML syntax. But if you write the whole thing in YAML syntax, then you can give drop downs, you can all sorts of options.
Yeah, like the different comment boxes, and then it
Yeah.
all just puts it neatly into one big issue.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I would love to say that I pioneered this and invented this or whatever, but working on the CNCF tag contributor strategy, Ollie from Red Hat put our templates in YAML and did fancy things like this. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And so I basically copied most of what he did so that I could do this for us.
Well, CHAOSS appreciates that, and I will also copy it. So, and probably most people here will copy it at some point as well. So, yes.
Yeah, let me know if you
That's
have any questions.
amazing.
Yeah, as Chris says, YAML, all the YAML.
Fantastic. Oh, I love it. I feel like that should be a blog post. If you haven't written a blog post on that, Dawn, you should, or somebody should. 'Cause
Somebody
that's
should.
really cool. I love to stumble across tips like that. Yeah, that makes me really happy. Okay, any other questions?
Getting the YAML right is the trickiest bit of doing that,
Yeah.
but
But at least that's a start,
yeah.
Okay, cool. We can, I guess, move on to, we talked about this last week, just wanted to let people know this is here now on the website. It comes up under community. If we think it should go somewhere else, excellent. We can put it wherever because we can do that. But I just put it under community for now. And we already have some submissions, so yay. Look at this, here we go. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, we need to go through and add the rest of the ones from Open Source Summit because I think there's loads of chaotics who are doing talks. I just I added the ones I was on.
I appreciate that. And I'm noticing now too that we should have a space for the event and then also the talk title. So that will also help differentiate between, because that just shows the event, but it doesn't tell you what your talk's about.
Ah, good point. Yeah.
Missing that. There we go. All right.
Areas for improvement already. Look at that.
All right. I love it. Iteration. It's the key, Elizabeth, to add. I just have one of those, so yes, excellent. And then we will put this in social media probably a week before the event. We'll just kind of promote them. I was going to add them to the monthly, but that is going to be too late. So I'm not sure what to do about that, but that's okay. Maybe I'll try to get the newsletter out before the event. That seems like that would be helpful. Let me just put a note here. Newsletter. Let's see about that. Anyone else have feedback on that? Or questions, what to do with it, why it's there? Okay, we'll move along. We also started to talk about this last week. I don't know that there's anything else to say besides the announcement, but I will defer to you, Sean, if there is, just to let people know we have changed the meeting time, still the same day, right?
That's, yes, that's correct. Yeah, we moved the meeting time to try to accommodate more people and shifting schedules with the summer.
Got you. Okay, cool. And I think that has been reflected on our calendar. Let me just make sure. So as not to confuse folks. Yep. So next week, 10
Yay,
a.m.
that's
US
right.
Central.
That is right.
Uh,
Thank you.
This is going in, showing in Eastern in case people are confused. That's where I am. So that's why it looks like 11, but it's 10 a.m. US Central, not 11. Anything else to add on that, Sean?
Nope, nothing else. That sounds good.
Okay. And then finally on our agenda, I want to surface this, as it didn't get a ton of views, I don't think, but Yahui would like to add something at the bottom of the page for each of our metric pages, which is a try it now link, where it can happen. So where they have been implemented in OSS Compass, add that link to try it now. Or Augur, I suppose. Yes, he has Augur here as well. So here's the issue. I just wanted again to surface this. You don't have to read all this right now, but I did want to surface it in case people have thoughts on it, because it is kind of affects the whole community.
I mean, I think it's a great idea, really. It's a really great idea. I think the challenge, of course, is going to be that like all great ideas in chaos, there will need to be a certain degree of work put in play to realize these things.
Yeah.
So if you know, what I would say is that if somebody wants to work this out, for example, using Augur, um, I would be happy to you know, cover that in the Augur 8-knot sessions every other week. So if you want to show up for those, be happy to try to help this along, but I'm not going to sign up to do it myself.
That seems more than
Or,
reasonable.
or
No,
at least not all by myself, yeah.
So yeah, for those who don't know about Compass, I can also give a little link to that as well. So Compass is a separate project. It is not a CHAOSS project. It is a separate project, but a lot of our CHAOSS Asia folks work on this project. Let me see if this will work here. And it is a lot based on CHAOSS metrics. So you can create your own models and such and see them. And this looks like his link to contributors. Okay, so what Yahui is proposing is that, you know, we would link to either this implementation or Augur or both if we have it, so people can visualize in real time what that is. And it's a neat thing. Like if you all want to poke around, I can certainly put a link in. I'll just put a link to OSS Compass in the minutes. They've done a lot of work on it. Oh, I want this. Oh, well, it won't let me. There we go. Okay. So I'll just drop this in here in case people aren't familiar with OSS Compass. And I don't know if people have thoughts, you know, again, please drop them in this issue. If there's a, you know, concern, oops, this issue, there's a no, that's not the right one either. Let's go back, shall we? There we go. If there's a concern with like linking to things that aren't official CHAOSS, that's a valid, you know, concern. If you have that concern, if you would rather it just go to Augur, if you think this is just gonna add more work for people or not be helpful, like what, or if it's awesome, like whatever it is that you think about it, would be great to just have some more comments on here. Just a little voice of the community would be great. So there we go. Or if people have comments now you want to make or discuss it, we certainly have time for it. So Also valid if we don't. All right, well, that's it. Let's go through the reminders then real quick. Just a reminder, no weekly meeting, June 24th. So don't come here or come here and just sit in silence by yourself. That's fine. But we won't be here. We will not be joining you because a lot of us will be in Denver. Some people will be other places. So yeah.
Should we, Elizabeth, sorry, should we also talk about some of the other CHAOSS meetings that are likely canceled?
Yeah, let's just look at our little calendar here and see what we got. So
So like the
science,
OSPO, I think we canceled the OSPO working group on Thursday.
you did cancel that?
No, I think we should on Thursday. Because all the OSPO folks will be at the event.
Yeah, wondering about these two. As I think the UN event is this week, but I'm sure people will maybe not. Well, maybe they want to meet. I don't know. You know what? I'll drop something in the working group leader channel that we have to.
That's a
let
really
people,
good idea. That's a good use of that channel instead of us trying to
right?
perform it live in a meeting.
Yay. I'll just put a little note here.
Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth.
And I'll just ask people who's canceling and who's not. Other reminders, of course, CHAOSScon, here's the time and date. You do need to register to Open Source Summit North America. And of course, if you would like to help staff the CHAOSS booth, we would love that. You do not have to have any experience doing that. And it would only be for an hour at a time. So if you just want to do it for an hour, that's great. That'd be really, really helpful. And we would love that. And it's also really, really fun because people like CHAOSS. And so they're very happy to talk to you about that. Also, data science hackathon is happening in the morning before CHAOSScon. So definitely check that out. There's a page here on the website. It's very small though. So if you are planning to go or would like to go, you should do that sooner than later. And they're going to cut off our registration on June 20th because I think they're providing some lunch for people. So they want to have a final count. So, and that's going to be in Denver at the CU Denver Student Commons building. They're going to be working on some hands-on projects. Dawn, I know you've talked about it before, but if you want to do a quick 30-second plug for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a wide variety of projects that we're going to work on, so they don't require any specific data science skills. We'll have some that do, so some stuff in Jupyter notebooks and some data analysis that I think Chan and Sal are going to lead on a couple of the projects. We'll have another project that is really kind of a data cleaning project, and I'll lead that one, and so that's for really anybody. And we actually it's interesting because we're hosting this at a university, and so we opened it up to the university data science students. So we have a load of university data science students who are coming to the hackathon too. So it's not just the usual CHAOSS suspects. So this should be fun.
And there may be a chance to participate remotely if there's enough interest. So if you're not sure if you can make it, but you want to participate, then you should go to the registration page and indicate that that's how you would like to attend. And then, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like we will actually probably, we're still sorting out just the last minute details on the technology side of it. But I think we have already like 8 or so people registered, and we've got projects for the remote folks, for the hybrid folks as well.
Perfect. So. Awesome. I'll just put a note here. Remote participation. Hey. Excellent. Want to let folks know about CHAOSScon Africa is confirmed, and they do have a CFP open until June 20th, which you can fill out here if you are so inclined. Would love to have folks filling those out somewhere right here. So there you go. Here's what they're looking for. And the deadline is June 20th. So there's that. And then of course, the reminder to add, if you are giving a talk, just add it to our calendar that we were talking about earlier. And we'll try to promote that the best we can. Look at that. We're not even half, it's not even half past. We're all the way through everything. So before we say goodbye, who has other things to add? This is your chance to do so. I think folks are like, please, 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 please. No. All right. Well, I'm going to stop sharing them. And CHAOSS community. Oh, hi. Peculiar was pinned on my, there we go. Peculiar, good job on your practitioner guide, by the way. Before you showed up, we were singing your praises and celebrating you. So now we can do that while you're here. So nice job on that. Everyone else, if we, CHAOSS committee, do we need to meet or no? Are we good?
From a schedule perspective, I'm just confirming the information for the last two speakers. They accepted the revisions that I asked for. Well, one was a new talk that we requested, and the other was a revision. So once I have that, I'll update the website. Thank you, Elizabeth, for putting everything together.
Yeah, I need to add the speaker's information still. So I will do that, and the images and everything. I will do that in the next few days for sure.
Perfect. And then on the day of the event, most of the logistics are handled by the Linux Foundation staff for managing the flow of the event. Elizabeth as our master of ceremony, our MC.
I think Dawn is the MC. I'm just doing the intro, the what's new in CHAOSS. So Dawn's going to be the MC for us.
Oh,
but that's
yes,
okay.
I confused those two. So Dawn, you make sure that we have good flow. Do you prefer on the schedule that we have the talks 15 minutes and we have a 5-minute gap between the times, or do you prefer that they are back to back on the schedule and you enforce with the speakers that they stop after 15?
I prefer that we have the gaps in the schedule.
Okay, then I will update the times in the schedule.
Because otherwise the speakers will look at the schedule and be like, oh, they gave me an extra 5 minutes. No matter what we tell them. Because they'll see it on the schedule, they'll be like, oh, an extra 5 minutes. I can talk for longer. Yeah.
I'll update it.
Thanks.
And then Kali was working on finding a place where we can informally meet afterwards. Did you have an update on that, Kali?
I'm still down to those 3. I want to call and narrow it down to 1. Do that this week.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Anything else?
It'll be an awesome day. I look forward to it.
Woo-hoo. Me too.
Yeah. Sean, are you coming with your camera for the group picture again?
I mean, I always have it with me. Always available to do that. Yep.
Awesome.
Never leave home without it.
Do we have
plane
somewhere?
crash.
Do we have somewhere a collection of all of the group photos we've taken at Chaos Cons?
I didn't take the one at the most recent Chaos Con at FOSDEM, but through the years I have records of it. We've posted them to the blog. I don't know if that we've gone back and historically accumulated them all, but I could certainly pull the ones I have, which is most of them.
It would be great if we could put those in one place where we can easily
Yeah.
find. Maybe pick the best 2. from each of the sets and put them in a folder in GitHub?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just look for the ones without me, and that should, make them more beautiful.
I think a lot of them.
because I've looked at your photos and there's like a bajillionty of every event.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't need to
Digital,
list all of those, but
digital photography leads to a lot of littering in the search of the perfect picture. There's no question.
Yeah, I'd be even more rigorous and say there needs to be only one picture per event. One group picture.
no, I said
It would be
two,
great to
because
add that.
we always do a regular one and a fun one.
One regular, one fun,
Oh,
two.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant when I said two. Because we usually do that, and I like the fun ones.
I do too. I did that
I do
with my
too.
family this weekend. We had a graduation celebration. We were taking pictures, and the fun one is so much better.
We could add the photos to like the previous event pages because we still have the pages up as like an archived event. We could add that picture to the
Oh,
top.
yes.
Here's how it went. So that's a good project. We should do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that actually to our agenda here right now.
Yeah, and I'm adding it to my to-do list.
Yeah. And
Sean, if you start collecting them, I can help too. And of course, I'll put them on the site. So
Yeah, yeah. I'll put them in. Maybe I'll start just putting them in a Google Drive, in our Google Drive, Elizabeth, and then you can put them in the right place. But that could be a staging area.
yeah.
okay, cool.
And for the ones that you don't have, we'll ask the community to crowdsource. Someone
I know
has.
I did. Yeah, I know I didn't take the photo at FOSDEM this past year. I was pretty slow with my boot still, so
Yeah,
I don't remember who took it.
I don't either.
I think Daniel took it, but I don't know whose camera he used to take that. I remember him like setting it up and then he ran into the photo, but so I don't know whose camera that was on. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't recall whose camera it was though.
That's okay. We can track it down. We'll figure it out. Because it's posted in the Slack. If nothing else, we can grab it from Slack. Okay.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing many of you. Some in New York and more in Denver.
Definitely.
See y'all.
All right. See ya. Bye, everybody.